Now for global business updates, Rotu Sudiri joins us. Good morning.
Good morning, Ayo, Rufai, all
morning,
our
Rotus.
viewers out there. It's a short, same to you, my brother. Short week because of Christmas. We're supposed to be getting PCE November data from the US. That's personal consumption expenditure figures. It was 0.2%, I think, for October. Year on year was 2.8. So it's just another inflation read. After that funny business that we saw for CPI. Tuesday, EU vehicle registration, also the UK. I think we also got UK quarterly GDP, I think 0.1%. The UK economy is still very tepid. US jobless claims, usually get those on Wednesday. This, of course, is the number of people seeking work that file for unemployment assistance. But because of Christmas, they're pushing that up. We usually get that on Thursday, but they're pushing that up to Wednesday, to Christmas Eve. We're going to US markets will be closing early, I think 1 p.m. Eastern time on Wednesday. Thursday is Christmas, Friday Boxing Day. I think they resume Friday, but it's going to be very, very light trading this week. Asian markets were up today across the board. China, Hong Kong, Japan, Korea, India, and Australia. So green across the screen. China held its loan prime rates in place. The 1 year LPR at 3%, 5 year, I think the 1 year is for new loans, 5 years for mortgages, and so on, 3.5% there. This is the 7th hold in a row, which is, the markets are expecting some kind of stimulus since November data was pretty subdued. Retail sales, fixed asset investments because of the property sector, and so on and so forth. Netflix stock, I'm bringing it up because of the fight. I don't know if you guys watched the fights on Friday night, but so it's underperformed the market though. Yeah, he broke his jaw in two places. 94.39, so it was up on, Netflix stock was up on Friday and also up in pre-market trading. But look at this, it's up 5.9% so far this year. S&P, Dow, NASDAQ, at least they've done, it's underperformed, compared to the other bigger tech stocks. But Joshua's payday has actually brought up, before we get to Waymo, where's the Joshua? So Joshua's payday has actually brought up a lot of talk around tax. You see this meme, boom, knocked the sonic rings out of him. Somebody on the internet put that together. So he defeated Jake Paul on Friday, and the purse was supposed to be about $182 million, right? Excuse the belt. He doesn't hold any titles right now. But so he got about estimated 91 million, but these things are structured. This is just a straightforward assumption, right? 91 million. He has to pay tax to the United States since that's the source country where this money was generated. So upper marginal tax rate is paying 37% to the US. So that comes out to about $33.6 million. Meanwhile, the HMRC, Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs, the UK also wants tax from him. And for UK residents that earn big paydays overseas, you have to pay tax as well. And that's another 45%. However, the US and the UK have a double taxation treaty to where, because if you add that plus this, that's about 82% of his money that will have been taken. So the UK says, okay, look, we will recognize the fact that you've paid 37% in the United States. We want 45, which I think is the estimate for his bracket. And the remaining 8% difference is going to be paying about another $7.2 million to them. Then he has to pay tax for the national insurance scheme there. So, so it comes out, he gets to about 48.2. However, there are some deductions that can be made. Logistics, I heard he was training with Alexander Usyk in Spain. His management fees, promotion, and so on and so forth. Jake Paul, by the way, in Florida, this was in Miami, so Florida has no state tax.
Nigeria and all of this.
No, the point I'm making is the K-shaped economy, right? I just told you about UK GDP coming out this morning, quarterly GDP. The UK economy, we all know what's happening with Keir Starmer, Rachel Reeves, and so on. It is tepid. It is underwater. Youth unemployment is high. The NHS needs more funding. Meanwhile, some of your residents go overseas and make $90 million. So it's taxes. The only way that you can bridge the gap in the K-shaped economy between the rich who are getting richer and the poor getting poorer, the K, one branch goes up, one branch down. It's tax. So that's it. Mitt Romney, I'll actually bring this, I'll post this tomorrow. I saw this already. I didn't have time to read everything. Mitt Romney came out with an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal or Bloomberg, and he said wealthy people, and this is a Republican, he said wealthy Americans need to be taxed more. So that's the only way you can bridge the gap. Meanwhile, there was a power outage in San Francisco. This is a Waymo car. You know, I've talked a lot about autonomous driving, filing a report on AI in 2025. This is going to come up. It just died. So I think because of the blackout, it affected internet access. A number of Waymos, these are a bunch of them here, they just stopped because they just, I don't know, I think it was a connection issue. But this brings up one of the risks with autonomous driving and relying so much on the internet to get things going. So the car just stopped in the middle of the road there, and there's been so many viral videos of Waymo vehicles. Waymo, of course, was spun out of Google. It's their autonomous driving program. They are the leader in robo-taxis across the United States. Elon Musk, who is a competitor, did not waste time to jump on the issue. He now put out a tweet saying Tesla robo-taxis were unaffected by the San Francisco power out. He's a businessman. His capitalism, he has to jump on it. So they weren't affected. To Nigeria, Nova Merchant Bank has opened up Southeast South House Regional Hub in Owerri, endorsed, of course, by Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma. And, of course, the government is going to be allocating some land for their headquarters and construction. Being a merchant bank, they're focused on SMEs. They are focused on corporates, and they essentially want to just establish this hub out in the Southeast South House to take advantage of logistics, the business area there that is growing, and they're expanding their footprint. There's a pretty interesting tagline they have called Phygital Strategy, which is part physical and part digital. Yeah, exactly. And I think we've got a clip of the ceremony that happened there, where there we go. So there's Governor Hope Uzodinma there with the ceremony. And shout out to Phillips Uzodinma. That's the chairman there, former UBA. There he is at the ceremony. So it's them trying, basically showing, faith in the Southeast region, recognizing the business opportunities there, and expanding their footprints. And then look, Nigerian stocks are having a good December so far. I think up almost every day last week. OSI finished Friday up 1.13%, 152,000 points. The market is up now 47.73. I don't think we can get to 50% year to date, but as light trading this week. That's our update.
Good one. Real quickly, see, Rotus, we use internet and computers and everything. We have technical glitch. Even rundown gets glitches.
Yes.
So let's not crucify Waymo.
Yeah, of course.
Our brother Elon Musk can talk all he wants. Even he has glitches.
Of course.
Tesla is not all that perfect. Running down through what's it called, the Joshua payday and everything, it shows the fecundity of the economy, really. What Britain should look at is how can we host more fights like that on British soil?
Yeah.
Where is an indigenous British streaming service? We look forward to the day where BBC iPlayer can get so big that they can host a boxing bout like that. Or we look forward to the day if he lives in the UK, pays tax. I'm talking about Len Blavatnik, the guy with Blavatnik business school in Oxford.
Yeah.
He has the biggest shares in one of the biggest streaming services, that's DAZN, DAZN. If the government can talk to Len about having such of these showcase fights on British soil, as he is a British taxpayer and all of that, in fact, it's even listed in the Times Rich list.
Yeah.
Maybe this can bring some more economic fecundity, to the UK. In the K economy, there's another part of it. Apart from here, the rich subsidizing the poor. But in the K economy, there's something called access and scale. That's what Netflix just showed. Netflix has not only done that with Jake Paul and Joshua, they did it with Jake Paul and Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
2 such fights like that in a year. And they also got scale for it. You didn't see the eyeballs that came to Netflix.
Yep, that's right.
So they can put that money down. The question is, what broadcaster in the UK can put that money down as we speak today?
That's the question.
Okay, so I jokingly talked about Nigeria because we were talking about all the links of Anthony Joshua. We also know that he's Nigerian as well. So I was like, can we tap into? That was where I was coming from. Yes, I was saying that. Where can we tap
Nigeria should tax him too.
Yes, he's Nigerian and he comes home. He proudly identifies. So I was saying that we need money. We're on a revenue drive. So how can we tap into that 91 million? That's what I was trying to say. That where's Nigeria? No, this US is claiming, and the UK is claiming Nigeria too.
I think he has a foundation. Just charity.
Yeah, so Nigeria should tap into it as a son of the soil.
Yes, indeed.
We are invested in that too. Yeah. But that's aside. But I mean, thank you very much for showcasing that. And let me even take what Rufai said and bring it back to the Nigerian context, where we see that in certain countries, because a number of people have complained about the impact of the tax reform on Nigerians come 2026.
Hey!
And some, validly so. But the truth is that if you see these big economies, many of them, when they have, the K factor, like you mentioned, rely on taxes. The only thing is that when you tax for productivity, you tax to create jobs, you tax to ensure that you're able to provide infrastructure to stimulate the economy. And that should perhaps be the biggest conversation around our tax reform in Nigeria.
Agreed.
Whether we like it or not, and I know people will hate me for saying this, you will be taxed.
Yeah.
Where there's a revenue drive, where there's a revenue...
let's not forge gazetted
But I understand. That's what I'm saying, that even beyond that is tax efficiency to ensure that the tax is for productivity and not just to tax people into being impoverished.
Our leaders should start by showing their tax returns. All political leaders.
Yes, Dr. Batu always talks about widening the tax net.
Asset
So we must make sure that everybody
declare your assets.
Okay,
Declare your
tax
assets.
reform.
Yeah.
There seems to be a consensus that what President Tinubu, through his tax committee led by Oyedele, have done, what they have done, is fundamentally important. Nobody likes the taxman. Yeah. But what I see is that there seems to be this allegation that there is an attempt to frustrate it. But you cannot question the reform. You cannot question the fundamental issues involved.
Yep.
Which was why when you said, our brother, who, by the way, has been waving the Nigerian flag, and some Britons are not happy, but they should know that he's from Shagamu.
Yes!
100%. Now he makes 91 million. He's going to go home with $48 million. So just to tell you about the importance of a tax. The other thing to say about Anthony Joshua, who knocked out Jake Paul in the 6th round, gave him a damaged jaw. So damaged that Jake Paul now says he will not fight again. He will retire from professional boxing. On this same table, some people were telling us Jake Paul will beat Joshua. And I was saying on that occasion that don't compare oranges and apples. And we were saying, look, one punch from the right hand of...
it was not one punch. He took it to the 6th round.
Whatever.
He took it to the 6th round.
No, it was
a strategy. One punch. There was a strategy.
There's something called strategy.
I think Joshua was
it took him out. And he broke his jaw.
So it's a one punch.
Sometimes when we make statements, some of these statements we now have the empirical fact. We now have the empirical fact.
Rotus, what did Joshua say after the fight?
I've not finished.
He gave kudos and respect
to
Jake Paul, a YouTuber.
No. That's diplomacy. Meanwhile, Asian Pacific markets are doing well.
Yeah.
In response to the passing of the Chinese 1 year loan prime rate and 5 year. The 1 year prime rate is for borrowings, basic borrowings and new borrowings. The 5 year loan prime rate is for mortgage. Yeah. But generally, in Asia Pacific, the market is doing well. Yeah. The market has also recovered in the US.
That's right.
Friday and beyond. Yeah. Because Oracle recovered. The volatility that we saw with the AI company Oracle, improved. Yeah. And so, this elevator thing that we usually talk about. So, but meanwhile, if you want to invest in AI stocks in China as a foreign investor, you are not allowed. The conditions are so many that China appears to be opening up and closing up more or less at the same time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Rotus. Thank you,
Anthony Joshua,
for putting your critics to shame.